Hello, the internet. It's me and Emily and a bunch of other people you can't see yet.
They're here.
Can't
Yes,
see me,
they are
but
here.
I'm waving.
All right. Well, Meowster is doing a little bit of extra work and getting us set up. Thank you all so much for being here. This is a really important and special event, and we really appreciate you being here and contributing to this because it's very important to all of us. That new Kari, I'll just jump right into our intro for it, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on, why some of the edges are a little bit rough. But starting off, our great friend Kari Aiden, Shive, was a beloved community member, moderator, and participant in the Transverse, Gender Federation, and Gender Meowster organizations, and the Transection Discord. Was adored by her many TikTok followers as well. Kari passed away August 12th from heart disease complications. The obituary and grave marker provided by her family misgender and deadname her. And as members of the trans community, this is something that we feel must be corrected as much as we can. So we are here today to pass the hat and remember our friend and raise funds for a plaque that will correctly gender and name her and will be placed at her gravesite. So that's the point of what we're here doing. This is we've got a compressed timeline. Many of us found out early this week, and we've been working to put this together. Meowster is going to be unavailable for about a month, so this is our only chance to do this. So we're putting this together kind of by the seat of our pants. So any patience you can give us as far as, again, like I said, the rough edges around this, we'd appreciate it. But we're here today just to honor our friend and, to bring the community together and hopefully raise some funds so we can give her the proper remembrance that she deserves. Do I need to keep filling time, Meowster?
I think you did a great job.
Meowster's there working feverishly, and we've got a wonderful group of people that have showed up here to be on camera and help with this. We have a loose content list here of what we're going to be doing today. I don't know quite where we need to start with it, but again, just thank you all for being here. That's the most important thing, showing up for our friend and being here to remember her. Yeah. I just want to make a quick note. Kari Aiden's pronouns were she, they, and I was very close to her, and she always told me that the she pronoun was fine. So that's what I have defaulted to. So I'm going to try and remember to use they as well from time to time because they did appreciate
I like to
that.
default to they because I'm a non-binary gremlin. So with our powers combined.
Yeah. It's all about perspective, right? And yeah. So I'm going to try to be good and throw in as many days as possible in the midst of everything. Yeah. I've got chat way off over here on the side. Meowster, are you ready to?
Yeah, I'll start by greeting everyone. So hey everyone, I'm Jenner Meowster. If you're new here, this is my channel. I run it with lots of friends. As you can see, we have many folks in the voice chat with me today. Maybe I'll let the folks here who would like to take a moment and introduce yourselves, just so we hear your voices. And there are captions that are running. We're doing our best. Let us know if you have any access needs, and we'll do our best to keep improving the stream as it's running, because we're kind of throwing the train track in front of the train as it's in motion today.
Yeah, very Looney Tunes as we're doing it. I love it.
Mhm.
Do we have somebody within the team here that is particularly watching chat and can pass on those messages?
I got
am
the
not.
Twitch chat open, if anything.
Yeah, I do have it open as well.
Well, and I can read through the chat right quick, but I wanted to let the folks in the voice call say hi first. So I put a little turn order in the voice chat for you all to say
yeah.
hi.
All right.
Lex, did you want to start?
Yeah, sure, I can. Hey, folks. I'm really moved to see so many people here. My name is Lexington. They often call me Lex. I use he, they pronouns. I've been a member of the contributors team for about 3 years, I believe. It's been quite a long time. This community has helped me discover myself, and I've always found friends here, open arms, a shoulder to cry on, and just a lot of support. And a part of that also came from Kari. She was part of the content editors team for a good time. It was delightful to have her there, always helping out, always just prepared to do things so that we could produce our wonderful shows and contributor spotlights. And yeah, that's how I met her.
Thanks, Lex. Miranda, would you like to
Hi,
introduce
folks.
yourself?
Hi, folks. This is Miranda. Most of you know me as one of the hosts on the Jennifer podcast. I also was on the content edit. Well, I guess I still am on part of the content editors team, where actually Kari and I were onboarded at the same time. So, I was in a number of meetings with her. Kind of learning the ins and outs of how to, behind the scenes of how to produce the show, and she was always a pleasure to talk to, and very quirky and weird in her own way, and and it's just this week has been really tough, so I really appreciate everyone being here, and yeah, if you have the means, if you're able to donate, because as those of us who are trans, we know we don't always have great relationships with our families, and I don't know what Kari's relationship with her family was, but it really it pains me to my soul to see her robbed of her dignity and death. Anything you're able to contribute would be greatly appreciated. So, thank you.
Next up, we have Wolves.
We are Trash Can Wolves. We're a bit newer to the contributor side of things, only having joined than earlier this year, around like February, but been part of the community for a while now. It's sort of like seeing someone you remembering Kari and her as part of the like, and then I can word. Being someone you sort of new as in the community, and then sort of for a while, and then sort of seeing them gone is, yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have Pirate.
I'm Pirate. My pronouns are he, they. I'm here to offer my love and support to people. I've been in this amazing network since about June, and I'm here to hold hands and click buttons and, you know, witness, support, share my love with everyone.
Oh, sorry. Well, thank you so much, Pirate, and everybody for introducing yourselves and saying those kind things about Kari. I didn't actually introduce myself, so I'll go next. I'm Emily, she, her. I am the founder of the Transverse and the host of the Transgender Show, and I've done some other shows on the Transverse as well. And we've known the members of the Transverse family have known Kari from very early on. She came in as an early follower and supporter, was always there in chat, always commenting, and was very active, and quickly won her way into our hearts. And then they, from there, won their way into the organization itself. They started off as a mod for the Twitch channel, and then once we got the Discord going in full effect, was a moderator there, really just helping the community, helping us create the organization and being there for us. I put in some of my posts that Creighton was always very quick to offer help and very slow to ask for it. Just always there, whatever you needed. Eventually, she worked her way up to helping me by producing Transverse News, which took a lot. There was a big learning curve in that because it was a very complex show with a bunch of different aspects to it. And she did everything. She took everything on with a smile, always had comments and suggestions for improvement, never criticism. And she was just a wonderful friend and a wonderful part of the community. And to see so many people here, so many people in the comments for her obituary, so many people in the community knew her and loved her and were there to support everything that they represented for our community. And you know, they came in fairly new to their transition, and by the end were just a big part of the community. And it's so wonderful to see that progression. And I'm so grateful for the help that she gave me and the community that I helped put together, and that to see it have spidered out to so many more people than that just really warms my heart. So again, thank you all for your willingness to be here and helping with this. It is so hard. This has been one of the hardest weeks of my life. And it's funny, I was telling, I think it was Meowster, that the first day when I found out and I passed it on to the community, I cried a lot. And I got a lot of, the initial emotion out. But then the last few days have been this odd weight of sadness. And I'm so grateful to have the other community members that knew her and that wanted to participate in this and helped put it on. So again, thank you all, and thank you for lifting me up. This is really important and really helpful for me personally, and I love that we're able to show Kari this love. I wanted to, we actually have artwork of it that we weren't able to implement anywhere, but I do still have this, and I have very mixed emotions about it. I was doing a drawing stream, didn't have anything to draw at the time, so one of the things I drew was Kari's name, Kari Aiden, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what I feel about this. I still have it, which is one of the things that sort of breaks my heart that I didn't get around to sending it to her. But I have it, and I have this to always remember her by. Are we ready to get to some of the content?
I
Master?
have plenty of things I've been waiting to say and share. I was wanting to let everyone else go first.
Okay. I felt like I was rambling, so thank you for taking the spotlight away.
Totally. So I will just acknowledge that we have one more person in the call with us who's not going to be talking, which is Clarity Seeker. Thanks for being here today. So that's sort of an explanation of who's here in the chat. And now I'm going to scroll to the top of chat and read chat out loud for folks. So Bisky989 says, I miss her so much. Kari, I hope you know how much I love you and how much this hurts. Samarella says, I don't know what's happening or what happened because I've been away for a long time and I hope Kari's soul to rest in peace. Thank you, Samarella. Bisky says, Kari, your little lobster misses you so much. I hear that. Morning Wind, thank you for the heart and the candles. Stom, welcome in. Thank you for your T-door candle. And Sam, to answer your question, what happens or if it's too much to ask, our best guess right now is medical complications. Kari had a heart attack back in January, and as far as I know from the bits I've heard, she went back in for surgery, a second, I would assume, heart surgery, a month or so ago, and either something happened during surgery or while recovering from surgery is the best that I know right now, which is really sad. I will add that something that for me is just like the knife in the gut with this whole situation is in January, Kari was 1 week out from her orchiectomy. Like, she was about to have her first gender affirming surgery, and she'd been waiting for it. She'd been saving up for it. It took all this like internal stuff to like get ready, and then she had to fight with all kinds of powers that be, you know, insurance companies and whatever. And now that she's passed away, maybe I can share that she was in Florida, which is, as we know, is not the most gender affirming state in the United States to live in. And so she was getting to the point where she was going to be able to get gender affirming care in Florida, which is a huge hecking win. And a week before her procedure, she had a heart attack. And that just slays me. It really, yeah, that part is really fucked, to be frank. Okay, I'm going to keep reading chat. Bisky says, you know, my favorite thing about Kari and there were so many things when OP would come in and you were so nice about everything. Lexington did a greeting. Hello, Lex. Welcome in. Emily said her friend Kari passed on August 12th from complications related to heart disease. So Emily answered the question. Thank you, Winter, for your tier 1 for 6 months. Oh my gosh, Winter. That's so generous. Thank you for your support of our channel. That's so kind of you. You've been a supporter for, it says 22 months, but I feel like you're also on our Patreon, which is super great. As a side note, if that's not the command, if anyone here is like grateful for this in an ongoing way, and you, after we get the plaque funded, if you want to support the work that we do here at the Clouder, we are all about trans joy for trans liberation, and we are constantly doing work towards mutual aid for folks to get their surgeries funded and to support disabled trans folks with getting their basic access needs and health needs met. So if that is the sort of work you're passionate about, like, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We could really use your help with our overhead expenses. I just gave a $1,000 loan to Gender Master from my personal funds, actually from my mutual aid, because his GM needed money, and I would love to not have to do that because I actually need that money for my own surgery, and I took it out of my surgery pocket to put it in the Clouder Fund. So if folks are willing to help recoup some of those costs or just in an ongoing way support us, we are looking at going towards doing a quarterly merch shipment for folks on our Patreon. I haven't even gotten those tiers set up yet, but if you at least follow it, you can follow the page for free and get emails from us. So when those new tiers are available, you can go subscribe. We are about to take a month off, which is awkward time. You'd be like, hey, give us money, we're going to go away. But we did 3 mutual aid events in August, and one of them raised $11,000. One of them raised $2,000 or $3,000, and the next one raised like $6,000. So whatever all of those combined, somewhere near 20K. I don't know. Math is hard right now, but like that's what we do. And all that money went directly to the people who needed it the most, and we didn't get a dime. So, support for us to keep our lights on is really useful. Okay, back to the content. Took says, hi friends, I'm not able to stay because I'm at work, but wanted to lurk and send my love to everyone. Thank you, Took. This Zelda music is piano covers of a bunch of really cool Zelda songs. So I'll share a memory. One of my favorite memories of Kari is she would actually mod for my Wednesday night streams. So on Mondays, Kari was on Emily's channel, The Transverse, doing the serious news show. And then on Wednesdays, Kari was modding in my chat for my silly Breath of the Wild Zelda streams. And so and Kari didn't play Breath of the Wild. Kari had no idea what was going on and was still here every week because I needed a mod that was awake at that time. And Kari was in Florida, and we would stream from 6 to 9. So Kari would be going to bed at midnight after modding and get up and go to work the next day and work a full-time job.
So dedicated to the community.
So
dedicated.
And then on Fridays, Kari would be at work and then would sneak outside when it was not as busy and would call into our weekly contributor meeting from 11 to 1, which was, thank you, Clarity, for the $20. And so, Kari was just had a whole routine around being in both the transverse and transection and the gender master community and all the TikTok folks that I don't even know anything about the TikTok side. We do have some TikTok content pulled up. And for those of you who are TikTokers, if you want to donate even just like $1 and throw a TikTok link in there, maybe I'll have one of the helpers here just kind of double check and vet that it's not someone trolling us with something horrible. But, we can play the links of your favorite TikToks of Kari's. So anyways, I'll read more of chat just so we can get caught up. Cyberpunk Boy says, you're lurking while doing caregiver stuff, but you said God because your thing went off. I think you said more words at some point, Bear, but I don't know where it is. People are excited to see Bear. Hi, Bear. Everyone's walk-ons are happening. It's very fun. Lex says, it hurts, but I'll be all right. Thank you, Tuck. Hope you're okay as well. And HCHIZ, I don't know how to say your handle. Is it his or cheese? Let me know. Much love, emote. That's very cute. Bisky says, I can't believe she's gone. It still doesn't feel real. Like, I feel like I'd be able to jump online and say hi, and I can't. I know, Bisky. I was telling my therapist yesterday at the very end of my therapy session, I was like, I feel like at any moment, Kari's going to call me on the phone and tell me this was all a joke. And it's like a practical joke. And I'm going to be so relieved that she's not dead that I won't be mad at her that it was a practical joke. But I'll be like, dude, never do that again. Like, that was horrible. And like logic brain knows that that's not real, but that is the shape of my grief yesterday. It was just like, she's just gonna call and be like, haha, send me a signal message. It was just kidding, I'm fine, here's some flower pictures from my walk today. Like, she was always posting macro photos of her flowers and like swamps and stuff. I love that. I love her love of nature.
Yeah, on that note, Meowster, when I posted the original post in Transverse HQ, that's where I got the initial word out to the community, was among the Transverse family. And I posted, that, because it was sort of unconfirmed at that time, for as far as I knew, but I wanted to make sure I passed it on as soon as possible. And I'm like, it's going to be so awkward when Kari comes in and says, no, this is not true. The rumors of my death are greatly exaggerated. I was obviously would be really excited to have that level of embarrassment. But
Yeah.
as it came to find out that that wouldn't be happening. It started to sink in, and it's been slow. It's been slow to absorb. It's just somebody that you have that is so close to you and such a big part of your life that there's just a hole there now. All right, I'll let you get back to reading chat.
It's all good. Cyberpunk Boy, I didn't know her all that well, but she was always happy to see me and happy to answer my questions when I had them. Working with her in these communities was a privilege. Yeah, it's true. It was a privilege. I have this delightful memory of being on a voice call with Kari at some point, and she had this hat with these ears, and then these long dangly things. And what we didn't see is that in her hands were these little balloon things. So she was just talking, hanging out, and then all of a sudden her ear would do this. I was like, what? And then she'd be talking and doing some more, and then the other one would go, and I'd be like, Kari, what's going on with your headset? Or you're like, what's? And then she started stimming and doing this, and she's like, oh, I just got this in the mail today. It's so cute, and I love it. And then a couple weeks later, she broke it, and she was so sad. And then she just had the one ear that would go, and I was like, "Oh, buddy." Oh
All
man,
of that
I
is
remember that.
it was so cute.
All of that is.
Thank you, Pirate.
I think she
for the
posted a
love.
video where she's
Oh, she
playing around
did?
with the ears, and one of them just popped on video, and she
find
was
it?
no. I have to see where it is. I think she posted it in our Discord. Let me
Okay,
see.
that's your job now, is to find that, because it's so
Yeah.
funny. It's so funny. Oh man,
You have a
welcome in,
mission.
Pluto.
Whether or not you choose to accept it, we're sending you on that mission.
Welcome in, Ray and Pluto. Thank
Mission
you for the love.
accepted.
Jen giggles. Kari was always there when I needed help for the transverse. I miss them greatly. Bisky says, I love you, Kari. Hello, dropped in briefly during work. Thank you, Rick. It's nice to hear from you. Hey, Ashlyn, welcome in. H Chiz, love Kari, so I can't donate now, but how long will we be able to donate? So this is a dedicated pally for this. I think we can accept funds until we hit the goal. So I think folks can keep contributing. Thank you to Rosa Ilva, who set up the tip feed, the pally for this. I was scrambling to do it this morning, and then I realized that Rosa had switched it on, and I was like, thank God. I was not ready to have to redo all of that. Yes. Parrot offers in the chat, if anyone wants some support, talk privately, a virtual hug, please feel free to poke me here or via a message. Gigi's in chat, did a little heart, Kirby, and a lighter. Good to see you, Gigi. Gigi, I'm really glad that you're alive. Because there was a moment this year where I thought we'd be doing one of these for you, and I was sad and pissed about it at the same time. And we got you through that, and you are here today to be sad with us about Kari. And I'm really glad that you made it through your thing that you were going through. I'm not being more detailed because that's your business, but I love you, Gigi, and I'm glad you're alive today. Take a deep breath, anyone who needs that.
Of all the times, like it can be very difficult to remember to breathe.
You know, Emily, I remember a text I got from you a day or two ago where you were talking about it's so hard to do anything. You just want these feelings to move on. And I was kind of sassy with the way I responded. I don't know. My tone was all over the place, but thankfully you love me and know that I don't mean it in a mean way. But I was like, stop doing. Just be. Like, just be with it. And that's what I want to encourage everyone here to consider is like, if you're noticing you're moving really slow, it's hard to focus, really simple things are hard to do. Like, that's all normal with grief. And we're human beings, not human doings. And it's okay to walk along the lake with your feelings and not do a lot. And, you know, if you can eat and take your meds and pee and drink water, that's all you have to do in any given day. Everything else is optional. Clothing, optional. Getting out of bed, optional. Like, everything else is optional. Go ahead.
One thing about living, being alive, I love people. is that sometimes you have to say goodbye to people and grieve. And I find it easier to do in community. And it's definitely an important part of being here and leaving your mark and enjoying getting to know people and being marked by them and your time with them.
I've never had anything like this happen before. I've lost some, grandparents, but that's about it. This is the closest loss that I've ever had. And also I'm so grateful for this opportunity and for this week to have other people that knew Kari and were going through the same thing, talking to you, Meowster, and Rosa about how we just can't function. And yeah, it's totally wiped us out. Having those friends, having the community, having the ability to talk about it in this way and to feel all of the feels and to know that your closest friends are going through the same thing. I am so grateful for that aspect. It's been a wild experience. Very unique.
Yeah, that's something that unfortunately is not new to me. I had another friend of mine pass away back in May, and in our Discord community, like we kind of had just shared grieving process that was really helpful, and there was kind of a people who were local to him. They all kind of showed up to the hospital as they kind of they took him off life support, and they live streamed it for the rest of the Discord community, um, and yeah, this with Kari passing away, it's kind of brought back a lot of those feelings, and yeah, it's having to grieve by yourself is really really difficult, but um, having other people around that know the person and supporting each other is really helpful, and really brings us all together.
Yeah, I was on my way to work when I got the message that Kari had passed away, and I could barely realize that this was real. That was like a new reality when my coworker came in and told me that another friend had passed away, another trans woman that we both knew, and it was just so hard being at work, unable to cry. So when I was finally on my way home, I absolutely lost it. Just all came crashing down on me. And it just feels so unfair to know that both of these people were seeking gender affirming surgery and for some reason got delayed and in the end didn't get to have it. And it just makes me very passionate about keeping gender affirming surgery accessible and available and not having people wait around forever. Because last year when I had my top surgery, I asked Kari if they could take over the genderful editing for me while I was recovering, and Kari said that she was going to have surgery herself around that time, but that got delayed because of insurance crap, and it just makes me sad and angry to think about it.
The perspective that I've been able to have from this, I feel like Kari's entire transition has been very difficult. Struggling with support from family and the lack thereof. And then, as we talked about, living in Florida and going through all of what the government was doing there and insurance, and then on top of it, health issues. I just feel like every step was very difficult for their journey. And so the piece that I was able to make with it is that her fight is over. And she's got this beautiful community that vastly outnumbers anybody that would dead name or misgender or give her any ounce of crap about the fact that she was trans, to remember her. And that's her legacy. And like I said, her fight is done. Her fight is done. And now it's up to us. It's all on us to remember her for who she really was. And so that legacy will live on much stronger than any aspect of the fight, or like I said, anybody that pushed back against her.
I would say that her fight isn't done, but her part in that fight is done, and it's up to all the rest of us to carry on that fight for her in her memory, and not just for her, but for everyone who's had their lives tragically cut short, and we'll keep fighting until we live in a world where we can all have equal access to care and live our lives in dignity.
You know what gives me a spark of, I don't know if I should call it hope or joy, is just to know that we all got to know Kari, as authentic as she was, and got to know her for their true self, which is a privilege. It's a privilege that our lifetimes overlapped, and that all of these little things happened that made us come together and just get to know this person. And they shared such a love for the small things in life that are so beautiful, like the wings of a butterfly. All of those macro pictures of flowers are just that's her spirit, and it's just beautiful to have all of these reminders when you go outside and see something small and beautiful that Kari loved that. Kari knew how to appreciate the world she lived in.
It's really true about her. I'm gonna pause reading the Twitch chat for just a moment. I'll resume with Gamesy in a minute, but I wanted to let folks know that we have a channel in the Clouder Discord that's like our memorial channel for Kari. And if folks want to post pictures of her, or videos or memories, there is a memorial thread. It's threaded off of general chat. I can also mention that Kari was such a prolific photo taker that at one point we had to make her own. Right when threads first came out on Discord, we made Kari her own thread to contain the sheer volume of beautiful flower photos that she was posting, because it was like she was flooding the photo channel with pictures of flowers, and it's like, babe, slow down. We have there's so many beautiful things. And so there's actually this really lovely curated pile of those pictures. I'm trying to find the link for it. Maybe someone else would do a better job because I'm struggling, but like I know it's somewhere in my group chat with Emily and Rosa, but I don't know where it is right now. But yeah, there's some beautiful content that we can look through and engage with as we go on with our chat today. So yeah, I just wanted to let folks know so that if you do want to add photos, I just got a gallery thing kind of put together, as you see, kind of flipping through in the middle of the screen here, and we can add y'all's to that as well as we go on. I just realized I don't have my other view of chat pulled up, which is actually really important to have. So Drea said, thank you for hosting. You're welcome. Sending love to all who knew Kari. Thank you, Drea. That's one of my dear friends. KMZ, sending my love to everyone. We only knew each other on a professional capacity with the Clouder, but I remember our first meeting. You're pretty new to the Clouder, and she was full ADHD brain mode, and it was one of the most jarring experiences of neurodivergence you'd experienced to date. They tangent so hard, but they're also so charming anyway. It was hard to be frustrated. It's such a mood. I hear that.
So neurospicy. I loved I loved it.
Barrett says it's so beautiful to see how Kari impacted so many people in such beautiful ways. Yeah, I agree. Vespers says, I agree. I feel like everything is a bit easier with friends. Yeah, regarding like grieving together instead of alone. And then, wait, what's so hard that Lexington wrote? I missed it. Was it something before when I paused earlier? Kim Z says, I think the thing that's really strange for me is this weird thing. In your HR capacity, you sent her a DM not too long ago to check in on their hiatus. It's part of our process. I never got a response, and now I know why, and it's just, there will never be a response. But that's the answer. There's a deep, quiet sadness to that. Kari, I hope you're happy and well where you are. I hear that. Taking a deep breath. For me, as a witchy person, by the way, here's the Discord server link if anyone needs that. As a witchy person, it helps me when I have more energy or emotion than I can contain to ground it. So sending it either through a grounding cord or through my feet, or putting my hands on the floor or laying on the ground, like chest into the grass, whatever, and letting all of that energy and intensity pour out of me into the earth. I don't know if that's useful for anyone else, but I just want to throw that out as an option for folks. As a form of self-care.
Love it.
I am curating a list of all the different threads and spots where little pieces of the content is, and we can put that in the chat and maybe the VOD in the description for folks to engage with. You put a link to what you think is the art thread in the voice call to make sure first. Okay, thank you for finding that for us. That sure is it. You found it all right. There's so many photos, it's taking forever to render. I love it. So yeah, Kari started posting, let's see if I can mark this unread. Kari started posting November 2022, and there are 243 messages in this one thread that's like 90% Kari photos and 10% people commenting on them. So if anyone would like to take a photo journey with our beloved Kari at any point.
And Kari never posted a photo. Kari would post like 10.
It was like an album. It was an album of photos every time. It was amazing. Like, what a zeal for life. Such enthusiastic living that beautiful being did.
I haven't been able to post them yet, but I think it was yesterday. Time doesn't make any sense anymore, but yeah, my solution yesterday was just to go and walk and sort of walk away from life in a way. And I ended up at a park that had a beautiful flower garden. And so I took some photos, and I'm like, Kari would have loved these, and obviously would have loved to be there as well, taking the photos. But I got to snap a few, and just, I don't know, in a way, it felt like I was there in her space.
Yeah.
And that felt very nice.
Bear says there's something really comforting about someone's presence when they're just unabashedly happy to see you every time they see you. Yeah. I feel like I bring some of that energy to the world. I'm like, oh my god, it's my friend. just like the autistic, like, yay. It's my favorite people. They're here. I'm so excited. As someone who takes thousands and thousands of photos, you feel so connected to this type of capturing and celebrating the beauty of the world. I love that, Pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Wolves. Every time I see the photo with Kari and the plushies, I think we were around at the time that particular photo was posted. I remember seeing it. And just to fast forward to now and ... I hear that. And then I'm going the wrong direction in chat, but that's fine. Kimsey says, it is hopeful, Lex. None of us ever get to complete the journey of discovering ourselves, but everyone's dedication to making sure Kari gets represented to her true self makes it clear to me that they got pretty close. Aw. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I think that was a better way to articulate what I was trying to get at. Yeah, thank you.
As a reminder, we are collecting donations for Kari's memorial plaque because she was dead named and misgendered in her obituary, and also the plaque that her family provided has her dead name on it, and we're not about that life. So if anyone else would like to donate, the link is pinned and it's also in the chat. Welcome in, Electosaurus. Sends you one of those smiles that scrunches one's nose. That's adorable. Okay, we have a lot of content, so maybe we will do some content and then switch back to more reading because we've done a lot of reading. So I'm going to start with Kari's introduction video in wherever this app is, TikTok.
From TikTok.
This app over here, this one app.
Yeah, on Meowster's playing theirs. It's the one up there, apparently.
Yes, I have 3 screens, and it's the screen in the sky. Sky screen. You would be amazed if you knew how many Chrome tabs and windows I had open at the same time.
Going up to that screen in the sky.
Thank goodness for my spouse who built this ridiculously powerful machine for me so I could do all this fun, goofy stuff.
I figured it was time to...
Okay. I don't know if people could hear that. What happens when I full screen? Ooh, fancy. So our gallery of friends is missing, and our captions are in weird spots. Give me just a minute to fix this situation. Just gonna bounce around for a minute here. Grab captions and descriptive. Runs down there. Most of these
Filling it on the fly.
TikToks. I think I can stick us over there. What was that?
Building it on the fly.
Yeah, it's I mean, that is today. But I don't know. I think Kari would be proud of us because I have memories of really struggling with Streamlits, for example, and Kari trying to learn Streamlits while we were doing stuff, and just having that be a hilarious problem because then I would spend half the stream teaching Kari how to do Streamlits, and then she would feel bad, and then we'd be like, we're both doing our best. It's okay, chat. And chat was just so kind and sweet with us, and it wasn't a big deal for chat, but gosh, we were self-conscious about it.
Transverse News was so complicated, and
basically...
she came in not really knowing anything about how to run the backend stuff, like with OBS and things like that. So there was a lot of big learning curves, and we kept changing things. And the one thing that what you just said reminded me about that whole experience is endless patience. Yeah. She just had endless patience and was always telling me to calm down and just breathe. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And yeah, always able to just look at everything from a really calm perspective and help others, help ease others' stress. Just be like, it's fine. It's not that big a deal. I think that kind of I think there's a wonderful tie-in between that perspective and all those photos that she took of flowers. She was able to really appreciate what really mattered in the world and what was really beautiful, and not worry about the other things. So that was always a perspective I desperately needed in those times when I was pulling my hair out.
So Miranda, I just saw in the voice chat you want to say goodbye before you head out.
Yeah, so I have to leave in a few minutes for my own trans affirming care.
Woohoo.
So yeah, I just want to, thank everyone for being here and showing your support, and special double thank you for those who've been able to contribute to our plaque funds. So I think that's really important. to help everyone grieve. So coming up later this weekend in the Clouder is we're going to be having an Identities watch party with Jesse Gender on Sunday. So you can check the upcoming events in the Discord channel. Identities is a film that I think Kari would have really liked because it's a film about the non-binary experience, and and I know Kari was a big Star Trek nerd, and so is Jesse, and there's a lot of hidden Star Trek references in that film, and um, it's going to be fun, but also sad because I really wish that she could have been there with us to enjoy the film. So hopefully we'll have time for a little Q&A with Jesse after the film, and I also made my own video about the film. So if there's interest, we'll screen that as well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and we'll take some time at the start to remember Kari as well. But yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day, and yeah, yeah, thanks. It's been a tough week, but being able to grieve together has been lovely. So take care, everyone, and we'll see each other soon.
Love you, Miranda.
Take care.
Bye.
Hello, little trans people in my phone. Somehow my walk-on happened, even though I didn't leave the voice chat. That's very amusing to me. All right, so I just looked. Ads are starting in 10 seconds, so we're actually going to take a BRB right now. And then we'll watch Kari's intro video when we come back. So everyone will be back in, I'm going to give us 10 minutes because everyone's moving slow because grief. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. See you in a few.
But you're on stream is okay, so I'm going to keep this off camera. Meowster's back here in Discord.
Hey, Commander Shalonian says, I can hear now. Apparently, sound is good. Okay. Awesome.
Well, thank you, whether that was Meowster or Pirate that figured that out and fixed it, but here we are, we're back. So I was just going to jump in and read some more chat. Pirate had said, I found a great video today about doing one's best versus doing less than your best and still being okay with it. If anyone wants to see that, please let me know and I'll send an Instagram link or find an alternative method. Thank you so much. That's something that's really near and dear to my heart. I've been dealing with a lot of that in therapy, that I get to this point where I kind of see what my potential is, sort of what my best is, and I kind of want to set that as the baseline. That's what I want to always be. And it just creates this unrealistic set of expectations and a lot of energy that you need to expound to stay there. And so, yeah, finding that place of being okay with less than the best, showing up, doing work, and doing your best at that time, not your best ever, but your best that you can put together at that time is really important. And so I love that you have that video and can share that with folks. Keemsey is going to be lurking. I've seen Keemsey commenting a lot, so their schoolwork isn't taking up too much of their time. They're still putting in some wonderful comments. Scrolling down here, let's see. Trash Can Wolves had said Miranda videos are the best videos. And some love for Miranda as she stepped away.
And the videos are the best videos.
Yeah. Streamlabs brings up a very important thing. Be sure to hydrate. Get a sip of water. You know, we've got a lot of tears coming out of us today, so it's important to stay hydrated. Make sure you've taken your meds. I somehow have managed to be pretty good about that this week. I think there's something about needing just routine items to do to make it through my day has kind of worked in my favor. I love the Meowster's idea of not only going out and touching grass, but laying in it and getting as much of your body connected to the earth as possible to send out that tough energy. I love it. Transcapybara had said, rest in power, Kari. What is remembered lives. Gothic Pluto had a big message here. Life has been very, very hard lately, which is why I've been so absent from the Clouder. And I feel such a profound sadness about losing one of our community members. Even though I didn't know her well, I anticipate Tidor will be very difficult this year, knowing we've lost one of our own. Yeah, I'm actually really kind of looking forward to that this year. Tidor is always a difficult event, and it's going to be even more difficult with somebody that we've lost personally. But I really do look forward to having another opportunity to memorialize Kari and share with a bigger audience who she was and what she meant to us. So glad we're able to highlight the light and joy that Kari has brought to our community. That was Gothic Pluto continuing. This is where we get to no sound. I guess we're pretty well caught up. Y'all were there for that when we didn't have any sound. Meowster is taking a little bit of an extended break. They did not sleep enough. Something about 2 hours, which definitely is not enough. Talk about needing some self-care. joined on their phone and hijacked the audio. So we got it figured out. I love what Meowster said. Yeah, scuffed and wholehearted as promised. We're doing this as, again, going back to Pirate's video, we're doing the best that we can right now, which isn't our peak best, but we're here as a community showing our love, and that's what matters. Pirate also said, please remember to do the having a body things like a stretch, a nice snack, hydrating. Yes, we talked about hydrating, but yeah, making sure you've got a nice snack, and you've got your energy, and yeah, a stretch is good. I am not, I don't have the best position here. I'm on a couch, kind of leaning forward. I am visiting a friend, and the logistics here in the space are not quite great yet. I haven't been able to get myself set up. I don't have a desk, chair. I bought a desk. I'm not sure it's going to work, but I don't have a chair, so we'll see. Rolling grass like doggo. I love it, Griffin. That's wonderful. Oh, y'all bring up a good point. We get to this point, we hit things like this event. We hit things like this week where life just gets so serious and we forget about some of the more childish things that we used to do, like just rolling in the grass, finding a place in the park with some rolling hills and rolling down in the grass. When was the last time you did that? That's a great way to reconnect with yourself and with nature. I love that. Trash can wolves, go outside and join us in a plot to eat the moon. I just also wanted to take a quick second to talk about, just to remind everybody, if you have any wonderful posts that you want to put out in social media to spread the word about the fact that, not the fact that we've lost Kari, but to help memorialize her and share with more people who she was and what she was about. Because of the fact that she was dead named by her family in her obituary, the hashtag her name was Kari started being popular. So be sure to use that hashtag. And her name, Kari, is spelled Kari. Commander Chelonian said, I want to join the moon plot. Pirates, one of the souvenirs I got myself was a coloring book, and I'm excited about that. Oh, I love coloring. I hadn't done it in decades, and I just hanging out with a friend one time, we went and got some and just sat and did that for a while. It's like, I really miss that. There's something great about, you've got the lines, you've got all the stuff done. Like, I'm an artist, I like to draw, but having the constraints already there, having the bounds, and you just are filling in between, there's something, maybe it satisfies a lot of ADHD or something. It's a very kind of STEM exercise, but yeah, there's something very fulfilling about that. And I love that as a healing kind of centering activity, because you don't need to think too much. You get to choose your colors, but other than that, you're just sort of filling in the lines. I can think of very few more Zen activities to do. So yes, everybody get out your coloring books. Now I'm thinking of picture pages too. Oh, this photo with the sun is stunning. I don't know. I haven't been watching the gallery go through, but Pirate has a favorite photo. Kari was very talented with photography. I think people are going through the pictures of her photos on the Discord channel, so I love that. Discord coloring party. Trash can wolves. That is a wonderful idea for a stream. I love that. When we did one of the recent mutual aid streams, one of the things that we had talked about doing on the Transverse was a community drawing stream. And so I went out and I got a tablet. So I'm able to actually draw on my computer now. So I can host and I can participate that. My streaming setup isn't great here yet. Like I said, let me get a desk and get a little setup, and then we'll definitely do a Clouder Community Gender Federation and Transverse Collaboration drawing stream. And it's not quite the coloring book thing, but I love that we can do that together. But yeah, so that thought reminded me of that thing that I need to do and talk about. But also, yeah, a coloring book stream sounds super fun. Let's do it. The above message was an error. Oh, the of course one or the awoo one? All right, my friend
Woo
is
is never
coming home, so
wrong.
things are getting a little complicated here. But Meowster, are you coming back soon, or do you still need more time? Kyra, do you have enough control over Meowster's stream to start playing some of the content? Is that something we can jump to, or is that a little complex? I'm getting a wry smile, and oh, we have a wild Meowster has appeared. I mean, I can keep talking and floundering, but I know we've got some content to get to, and if we can, I'd love to jump into that and share some of the wonderful things that Kari put out there that we're helping the community.
Right. Hopefully, folks can see and hear. Let me know if you can hear this
Introduce
video.
myself.
I can hear, and look, I can see you too. Awesome.
I am agender. I am non-binary. More specifically, it's what's referred to as Libra gender. It basically means that I'm not very much past agender. I lean a little bit towards woman. And remember, gender is just basically someone's identity, how they feel about themselves. It's a completely different spectrum from several of the other spectrums. I am also adopted. Grew up in the northern portion of Florida, which was very, homophobic, transphobic.
I love how that just ends. Wow. All right. We have more TikTok content to look at. See you.
Which was the one that was I wasn't able to catch the audio at the beginning of that. Was that the introduction one, or did we play that one already?
That was the introduction one. Yeah. So next we'll do her where she got her name. And folks who are not me and Emily, if people are posting other content of Kari's, if people can be vetting them, and then if we want to play them on stream, if you can add them to the content plan document, that would help me. And Lex, are you able to add the pictures to the gallery so that the gallery is getting bigger and you're hitting save and stuff? Just checking.
I added every picture of Kari that I could find, plus like 3 or 4 nature pictures that they took. Do you want me to add more nature pictures? Because I don't have more pictures of Kari on hand currently.
It's okay. This is great. I see now that it was saved. I was just away from my keyboard, so I hadn't seen it yet. That's beautiful.
Okay.
Okay.
Looks great. Okay, here's another video. This one, Emily labeled "Where Kari Got Her Name," which I think is exciting.
Oh.
Okay, I was playing around with that manga filter. That thing is fun. But I actually wanted to also mention how I got my name. So, my real life name has a certain meaning, but I'm adopted. And I took the meaning of it and I looked towards my adopted family and the ancestry, looked at a list of various names, and found one that has a similar meaning. So that meaning is now carried over, and so therefore I use Kari Aiden.
So meaningful. I love that.
Yeah, wonderfully sweet little introduction, and how she got her name. I love that. I thought that was really important to show early on in this.
Yeah. Love that. I'm gonna jump back a topic just for a minute. Oh my gosh, this is such a cute picture. So people are saying coloring book party and what have you while I was away. Heard that. I want to show you this really cool thing. You know what this is, chat? This is probably about 100 postcards of Youngster Mutual Aid, the unhinged art that all the friends made. My favorite part is it says "I love Vor" in the corner. So this is one
That's
of the
so cool.
many pieces of merch that was going to be in the little goodie pack that goes out once a quarter in the like Patreon subscriber pile. So we might have them for sale in the shop too. But yeah, I have 2 of these. I have twice this much in my house. So I'm gonna have Meowster Mutual Aid cards for a while. I also want to send one to everyone who participated, but I don't know how I'm gonna figure out who those people were. So I'll do my best.
I love
I'll do
it.
my best.
Meowster Mutual Aid, the postcard.
Yeah, Scott is one of our newer contributors, and he's been going ham with merch ideas. And anyway, very fun.
That's great.
Lots of fun shenanigans coming up. So anyway, let's watch more videos of Kari. So this one is the egg crack moment. Ooh.
Again from her
So, a
TikTok.
little bit about my transition. The eggs moment when it cracked, and I realized, that I would rather be a girl, was when I was trying to help my mom at about age 11 or 12 at her classroom getting ready for before the school started. She taught K through 5. She had to go to the principal's office, and I was flipping around through some of the women's magazines. And there was an article that said, "Are you all the woman you can be?" or something to that effect. It was fairly misogynistic still, housekeeping and things like that. But that was that moment that the egg cracked. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I would much rather be a girl. I wish I was a girl. I have a boy's body, but I would rather be a girl. But my gender identity wasn't like really strong. Imagine the volume turned way down. So I'm more agender, but kind of leaning female. But I have body dysphoria. Bad. So that's where the transition comes in. But my peers were, both before this and after, were very hostile. And I was harassed a lot. I was beat up a lot. And that would probably be another video, and I would probably need to do a trigger warning for it. But I buried everything really deep. It wasn't until not too long ago, April 2020, that I realized something had to give, and I could not pretend, could not bury anymore. And so I started going to a therapist, and I started HRT in March of 2018, or March 18th, 2022. So I've only been on, I'm coming up actually next month on my 1 year anniversary of HRT. It hasn't really had a significant effect yet, but, I am very excited about that, and I will see how things go. I'll probably make other videos, and some of them may have a trigger warning, though. Thank you.
How old is that video? Is that from 2020 or?
Says February 17, 2023.
Oh,
So
that's
she
right.
was 2 to 2.5 years on HRT if she was consistent. by the time she passed away. There's more videos. I just need to finish typing my ping thing. And then we have another, it's a YouTube link this time. And Emily wrote why Kari chose a non-binary identity over a female identity. And Emily, did you see my little note to you in the chat?
Yes. Yeah, I've been,
Okay.
yeah. This is actually from an unreleased episode of the Transgender Show. We did the show live, but we haven't released the edited version yet or the podcast. So I will be editing that this week and make sure that it gets out by Thursday of next week.
I'm going to say, because I know you have really high standards for yourself, that if it doesn't happen because you're moving in grief time, that's okay too. I want to invite you to be gentle and sweet with yourself and be a human being, not a human doing. We will still love
I'll
Kari
do
in a
my
month
best.
if it takes a month to publish. It'll be okay. Okay. So this is from a lovely, lovely, lovely show over on the Transverse, y'all. Please, if you haven't yet, go give a follow for the Transverse, which is Emily's Twitch channel that she runs with various lovely trans beings at different times. It's a great channel. I actually had a stream on the Transverse's channel for 11 months. I was doing Pokemon streams over there. So if you see any Pokemon emotes, that was my fault. Also, I'm wearing a Mimikyu tie, which is nerdy and fun. Thanks to my ninja for giving me a Mimikyu tie that's only available in Japan. Okay. Here is our Transverse replay. We're all over it. I'm actually going to make it small again because we'll see more of Kari's face this way. All right. Let us know if you can hear it, chat.
There was, shall we say, an earthquake. An emotional earthquake, so to speak. So, in order to properly reference it, I'll have to give a little bit of background context. After the egg broke, I was trying on my mom's clothes. And yes, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the one, especially I so loved this one white dress that she had, kind of a summer dress. I hid it in my room, and not long after, a couple of weeks after that, my mom finds it, and of course, she catches me in the hallway holding it in her hand, and like, hey, what's going on? Do we need to talk? And I'm like, no, and I run off. I was kind of torn up for at least a few days, maybe a couple of weeks. And I had kind of a moment of truth type of thing where I was looking at myself in the mirror in the bathroom and I was just bawling because I wanted to be a girl so bad. And I had heard about, having a sex change. The terms that I knew at that time, so please bear in mind the context of the early 80s. I knew female impersonator, and I knew transsexual, which at the time was considered a proper term. And I'm bawling like crazy, and I am looking in the mirror, asking myself if I wanted to get a sex change. And I was like, no, I don't want to be a female impersonator. I don't want to pretend to be a girl. And that's the way my mind understood it at the time. And I knew I wanted to be a girl. So I completely shut down emotionally, and for weeks after that, I was like very depressed.
So you realized that you wanted to be a girl through and through, at the core, and not try and change to mimic and copy that. So your perspective at that point was that that was something that was completely unattainable. You could never be that.
Yeah, very much so. And I kind of turn off my emotions. Um, my parents took me to therapy. I found out only just recently, a few months ago, and my mom's like, "Yeah, we were taking you to therapy." Um, it stopped because my dad was thinking that the therapist was accusing him of doing something wrong in bringing me up. But I completely shut down all of my emotion and everything. I mean, there were, don't get me wrong, for a long time, I still was looking, thinking, I was wishing, I wish I was like, I would go to sleep and I would sit there in bed trying to imagine me having a female's body. And I always felt like I was right on the edge and I wanted to experience it at least once. I wanted to also go to sleep and have a dream about being a girl. Strangely enough, had I never have had a dream about me being a guy or a girl. I'm always just kind of a presence. I don't know what the deal is with that. But so 40 years goes by, and I guess it kind of just faded away over time. And my gender now, I don't get it. I don't get a strong. I certainly don't have an identity of a guy. Okay, definitely not. But I don't get woman. Now, it may be that it relates to not having very many female friends and not learning how to girl. But it may also be related to, I mean, there's a little bit of something there. Um, there are times where, like, I was looking for a matching outfit, putting on clothes and stuff and matching. And I'm like, oh, yeah, girls got to match. Ooh, that struck resonance. So I kind of put myself in mostly a gender, but a little leaning towards woman. There's still a little bit of that there. But that kind of dates back to the mirror incident, and that's not quite complete.
Well, and the thing is I just don't want to give people the wrong impression. This line of questioning is coming from a place of, like, I know Kari very well. We've had several discussions, and one of the things that I feel is very interesting about their story is the fact that they identify as non-binary, and you can see the flag behind them there, and all of that, but express you express euphoria when getting gendered female and things like that. And that's why I think it's really interesting to talk about how we come about developing our identity and why we push ourselves, or why we move in certain directions in exploring the identity, because of our own internal factors as well as the external factors. And that's all we're trying to explore here. And I really appreciate the non-binary identity, but I like to press a little bit when it seems like there might be something in that's a resistance to pursuing the feminine identity because of something else that's holding us back.
Yeah, the mirror incidents, like I mentioned, I referenced it like an earthquake, and this is the part that I haven't yet mentioned, and it is a little bit of a trigger warning. When I was saying that I felt like I would have been a female impersonator, and I was bawling, I was crying. I mean, it was a full-on bawling. Okay, I literally, the reason why I was so depressed for I don't know how long afterwards, I literally felt like I had committed suicide, but my body existed on. I literally felt like a zombie. And even 2 years ago, well, more than 2 years ago now, when I went to therapy, that was the first thing that I told my therapist. I feel like a zombie. I feel like I'm a body just continuing to exist.
And since then, what have been your steps to sort of work through that? How have you been able to sort of find yourself again and find joy in your existence and feel like you're part of the whole thing again?
Well, some of it is a little bit of a shift in my thinking. Um, I remember what it was like when I was a kid, and I remember, you know, feeling some euphoria, and it kind of sneaks up on me. Okay, it's not like if I go put on a dress in order to feel euphoria, it doesn't work that way. It's more like when my guard's down and I'm just having a conversation with somebody. Like I mentioned earlier, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I had just ordered, I mean, they had given me some of their clothes, and they were feminine style clothes. And I was looking for things that matched. And I kind of said, yeah, a girl's got to match. Or it wasn't quite what I had said, but something to that effect. And it was like, struck me. The euphoria struck me at that moment. So it's there. And so I was talking with my therapist about, now this was earlier, going back a little bit earlier on with my therapy, talking to my therapist and said, hey, I'm really not sure if I'm agender or female or I mean, woman, or where in between the two I'm at. So my therapist is like, well, put on some underwear and go to work that way. I was always really afraid that if I rationalize fear, the intimidation of doing that with, if I get in a traffic accident and I'm taken to the hospital, they're going to find out. If this happens, if that happens, they're going to find out. And I didn't want anybody to know my secret that I had for 40 years. No family member, nobody, not one person had I ever hinted at. In fact, because of the bullying and the harassment that I had as a kid, who were calling me effeminate, I trained myself to not be effeminate. And my therapist is like, well, start deconstructing that, start reversing that, and see how it feels. And at times it felt good. So I'm like, yeah, I need to do this. So I started shifting,
Sana,
but I'm kind of shifting at my own pace.
Lipan Apache.
That's perfect.
I could just watch that that video all day. So folks, please do make sure you go give a follow to the Transverse, including on the Transverse's YouTube channel and all the places that they have your podcast. And Emily, do you want to say the name of your show one more time so folks have it?
Yeah, the show is the Transgender Show, so it's pretty basic and pretty easy to remember for us in the community. And it is available as a podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, all the things. So yeah, that's a great place to find it and be able to listen to it instead of having to go through the video if you don't have that kind of time. A lot of people love to listen to it on commutes, so it's a good way to access it. And we'll have that episode soon. A good thing to do is follow our Instagram, which is the Transverse, or also the Transgender Show. So the Instagram is the Transverse Network for the Transverse, and just the Transgender Show for the Transgender Show. And when we put stuff out, I'll make sure to put an announcement there that it is available there. Thank you so much for playing that clip. I know it was a long one. We got a lot of information about Kari's story and journey there. And as Meowster pointed out in our direct chat here for this stream, that it can be difficult to watch, and it's just great to see how much she was able to figure out about herself, and that was the Kari that we knew. She was living that. She was living that. She'd gotten past a lot of those feelings of being a zombie and disconnected from herself, and was finding herself, found community, and that's why she was able to help so many people. As she was finally able to be herself and accepted as herself fully. And that is what we're here about today, is raising money so that we can buy a plaque with her name and correct pronouns to put near her gravesite so that she will live on as her true self.
I'm gonna briefly show another video from my channel. I don't know if the audio is going to be exactly in the spot that is relevant, but I do want to let folks know that every year on November 20th, Emily and myself and my wife, Trans Capybara, produced 3 separate Trans Days of Remembrance. we were sitting in the car this week because Emily is on a trip to where I live, and it's like, oh my gosh, I get to see a person, and that was really cool. It's our first time meeting in person. We got to give each other the biggest hug, and I was like, if my back needed cracking, it would crack so hard right now, and I'm super into it. Emily's a really good hugger, y'all. Give Emily a hug if you ever get a chance. It's like top-notch hugs. And we were sitting in the car, and we realized that all 3 of us were planning a big event, not together. On Tidor every year. It keeps happening. So my wife does it at work because she's like, she calls herself chief trans of the of the gender council, and Emily does in-person organizing, and maybe sometimes is hoping to also stream that to the Transverse eventually. Maybe ? Is that on your wish list for someday?
Yeah. So that wasn't an original intention, but yeah, I'll try and see if I can do that this year. Definitely.
And we've done a live stream every year for the last 4 years now of Tidor. Like, you can see me in this video. I just have the start of my beard growing in. I'll make it bigger. Kari's going to end up being in the corner. So this is just
Baby
like an
Meowster.
overview of all of us. Baby Meow. Yes, it's me, Baby Meow. So I guess you can't see my mouse, but Kari is the bottom right and is wearing a transverse non-binary Phoenix shirt, which I love. I need to move these captions because I'm talking over Kari. I don't like it. I'm gonna cover up our friends in Discord for a minute. Sorry, friends in Discord. So Kari's here in the corner wearing his shirt. We have other people doing land acknowledgements, and then Capybara is immediately to her left, and then I'm immediately to Capybara's left. And so all 3 of us were here doing this. Also, Jessie Gender is right above me, which is another lovely friend of our community. So and Jesse's the one doing the identities thing. And I don't know if Miranda was super clear on this, but the identities screening that's happening this weekend is with the filmmaker themselves. A non-binary filmmaker made a film they retain their rights because they're distributing it on Nebula, which is a really cool sort of cooperatively owned film and content platform. And we hit one of our fundraising goals for Meowster Mutual Aid, which is my fundraiser for my surgery. And so Jesse's going to come to my Discord server and for free play Jesse's film. And Jesse's going to talk about it, and Miranda's going to be there interviewing Jesse, and I'm going to be tuning in from wherever I am that day and listening. I get to attend instead of produce. I'm really excited to attend and not have to produce. And here's Neferkitty.
That is so fun. I love that for you.
Related to nothing, so I'll switch to this scene for a second. Kari had this cat, Rusty, and the ads are starting. Sorry, ads. You'll miss the cat story, I guess, those who aren't subbed. Sorry about it. Kari had this cat, Rusty, that she just deeply loved. Rusty is an orange cat. And hi, Boo Boo. Are you going to settle, or are you just going to stand on all of the parts and just do cat things like you're doing? Neferkitty is catting very good right now. She's got 1 foot on my belly, 1 foot on one thigh, 2 feet on another thigh, and is standing right in front of me. Very good job, Neferkitty. So Rusty was Kari's favorite little buddy. Super sweet cat. and a cat passed away about a year before Kari did, and I remember how heartbroken she was when that cat passed away. It was rough. I was like, oh man, that was like your soul. Like that's like half of your heart is that cat. Like, oh man. Anyway, so
Yeah,
here's
most
a
of
picture
our
of the two of them.
usernames were related to Rusty. They were, like Ruber Cat is
Yeah.
I forget what language that is, but it means red cat for Rusty.
So that's why the picture of Kari and Rusty is I figured out how to get the background out, and I threw it in the top left corner of the whole stream. It's been there this whole time. Is the two of them are sticking their tongue out at the same time. I just think that's the best picture of the two of them. So cute. And that's Kari's Final Fantasy character, in case you're like, why is this random video game picture here? Anyway, so that's Rusty again in the picture with little teeths. Kari was always holding Rusty up to the camera and being a cutie patootie. So here was Kari doing Tidor with us. We do Tidor every year on my channel. We usually have our stream in the morning because we want our friends in the UK and in those later European time zones to be able to participate. So we're usually live from like 11 to 1, 11 to 2 Pacific on the 20th. And then Emily's events tend to be in the evening, late afternoon, early evening. So you could go to both if you're feeling emotionally well enough to do that. It's like hardcore mode. But Capybara multiple times has done Tidor at work and then come and done Tidor with us on my stream. And like every year she does double Tidor. And I'm like, I don't know how you're functioning right now. And so we were not able to interview Kari for Genderful. Lexington and I just checked, and we never got a contributor spotlight of her done either. So this is the main piece of content I have with her face in it, which we took turns reading, and I'm gonna scrub through. Here's Kari reading a month. So Kari is obviously reading really sad stuff because it's
2022.
people and how they died. I don't know. I like paused it because I don't want to hear it. I don't know. But here she is, like participating and like, when was this published? Let's see. This was published a year ago. So a year ago, when the 2022 VOD was published, which I don't know, time math goes here, maybe a year and a half ago. How much into HRT was she at that point? Because she mentioned when she had started it somewhere else. Oh, I didn't wait for the ad to end. It's okay. Thanks, Pirate. I didn't think I had enough. I don't know. I muted the sound anyways. But yeah, like Kari was still fairly new to the Clouder and all the stuff we were doing almost 2 years ago. It's true, Pirate. You're right. Almost 2 years ago. So they'd only been on HRT for a little bit of time. And I remember having conversations about like presenting at work or not, and like how long can you go stealth at work before people start noticing you might have breast growth or whatever else is going on, and like all kinds of late night chats about all those kind of feelings. And I can't even imagine working in a tech job in Florida as a trans woman who's just that sounds brutal. Yeah. So, anyways, she participated in Tidor as a reader, and then the following year, she actually did a lot of work with us leading into Tidor, helping us with translating names and writing in the phonetic pronunciation of different names, because one of our participants, some of the years, has been hard of hearing, and so helping with phonetics has been a way that we've created more accessibility. And not everyone speaks Spanish or Portuguese, and there's sadly a fair number of Spanish and Portuguese. There's someone from Brazil on the screen right now, folks who've passed away. So, like, even though, as far as I'm aware, Kari did not die of medical negligence and therefore wouldn't like technically be like a Tidor person because it wasn't like intentional violence that took her life. Like, I still plan to honor her this year, like at Tidor, because it's our grief ritual. And you might see the seeds look really similar. That's because I just used the same scene collection for this stream because I was tired and, I don't know.
It's fitting.
We found out Kari had passed on Tuesday. I spent Wednesday in my bed being sad, and now it's stream. So it's just, I gave myself time to grieve instead of make it look good, because that's what I needed, and I think Kari would have understood that and been supportive of it. So anyway, we can let go of Tidor sad things now, but just so folks know, we do this every year. We do it on Twitch. The VODs go on YouTube later. And this year we will also be raising mutual aid for a multiracial disabled couple who's also, they're both gender spicy. I don't know the micro identities of exactly how they are gender spicy. We can say trans as a broad label, but I think there's some perhaps agender or gender fluid or some kind of those things going on. And it's Mick and C Mutual Aid. So the actual mutual aid event will be early December of this year, the first weekend in December. And in the meantime, we'll still be raising funds for them going into the event once we get our buttons all switched around. I'm basically just waiting for the Ask video to exist before I switch over the Pally. But yeah, so we'll be raising funds for them and at Tidor this year. And, you know, it's, I don't know. I think like Kari was always wanting, like, the reason she was so involved with both Emily and Gender Master's, Emily's stuff and Gender Master stuff is like, she cared about both of the causes we were up to. Like, she cared about the trans news. She cared about your podcast. She cared about my podcast. She cared about like Tidor, and like she wanted the trans content we're creating to be out there in the world, you know. And she was always doing bits and subs and, you know, throwing money around to see if she could get a little hype train started, and little instigator, that wonderful being. And so,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I said that she was she started out as a fan, but that isn't accurate. It isn't actually accurate. She was always a fan. She was always a fan of the content that was being put out. She was always there watching it and participating in chat as a fan, as someone who just appreciated, like you said, what we were doing and the content that was out there. And you know, to have somebody dive that deeply into all of it and still have that ability to be that much of a fan of it as an outside observer still so much of the time is a really beautiful thing.
So since we're already kind of in the sad place, what I want to do is I'm saving the 2 fun videos for the end so we have something to uplift our spirits. But in the meantime, I actually want to take some time to read the obituary that we worked together on correcting. Is there someone here that wants to volunteer to do that? Like, I don't know, Lexington, if you would like to. I see your mic's unmuted, so I'm picking on you. Maybe you're
Yeah, I
busy.
could. Yeah. No, it's fine.
Here's the link if that's helpful. So we took Kari's obituary and corrected names and pronouns and took out last names of everybody for internet safety. Gosh, these captions are robust. It's fine. You know, my face exists. And what we might spend a few minutes doing is reading some of the comments on the original obituary, which has all of the incorrect name and information. I don't know if we're going to link it. I feel I'm on the fence about that one. We're going to have to take a consensus after stream maybe about if we'll put it in the description in the VOD or whatever. But there are a lot of really lovely comments and people saying her correct name in the comments on the original one. I think TikTok got a hold of the link and did a dog pile. But it's a love dog pile, not a flaming dog pile. Oh my gosh, thank you, Wolves, for your really sweet little hearts. Those look like bit emotes because of how shiny they are. It's really cool. Anyways, Lexington, are you ready? Shall I let you say words?
Yes. So you just sent me the obituary, so that's what I'm going to read now.
That sounds great. And we'll enjoy the pictures in the screen instead of the ones on the original obit, which are her in dude mode, which is not her true self.
Okay. Kari Aiden, aged 55, passed away on August 12, 2024, in Tallahassee, Florida. Born on May 8, 1969, in Pensacola, Florida, Kari Aiden was a cherished daughter, sister, aunt, and friend, known for her intelligence and her love for telling silly jokes and stories. Kari Aiden graduated from Mosley High School in 1987 and furthered her education at West Florida. They dedicated their career to working as a computer tech at FSU, where she was highly regarded for her expertise and helpful nature. Outside of their professional life, Kari Aiden was passionate about various outdoor activities, including hiking, biking, and kayaking. She also enjoyed playing computer games with her close friends Steve and Tam. I'm not sure if that's the last name here, I'm just not going to read it. Their love for spending holidays with family and friends was a testament to their warm and welcoming personality. Kari Aiden is survived by her mother Sandy, brother Marcus, birth mother Janet, sisters Jennifer and Shayna Marie, niece Honor, and grandmother Louise. She was preceded in death by her father Fred, birth father Roger, and sister-in-law Tari, and not to forget her cat Rusty. To plant trees in her memory, please visit the sympathy store. It says at the bottom. So apparently that's a thing you can do as well.
Thanks, Lex. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I just need to say that 55 is way too young to pass away.
Yeah.
It's way too young. We do have about 20 minutes left. So what I will do instead of read, because I just saw there's 89 entries in here, which is amazing. What we'll do instead is perhaps, Alex, if I can give you another task, if you would be willing to take screenshots of the digital guest book and maybe throw it at the very bottom of our content pile of things. Obit, I'll put a thing at the bottom. Of the ones with Kari's correct name, I don't know if you're tracking. Basically, I'm just putting, it's like where resources would be for Genderful at the very bottom, just screenshots of the comments so that people can see that without us doing the link that links to the dead name and the doxing information for the family. So with our 20 minutes left, I want to take a moment to read from the memorial thread in my server, because there's, I don't know, 4 to 7 people that have posted when I last checked, at least. And if folks want to read along, they can. And then we'll watch. I have 3 more videos that are short for us to watch. I think they're all under a minute, probably. And then we'll wrap up. Is there anything else we want to make sure that we do today, friends? Doing a very good job of tracking chat in this moment. Stiff. And Emily, I have a question in the document of, do you know if there's any public threads in the transverse or trans section that we might want to also link or send people to? Anyway. La, la, la. You're quite used to your parents being older than the parents of your peers, and you feel all of these feelings people are saying. Yeah. I appreciate that. Oh, Emily, I can't hear you, but you're muted talking to someone else. Okay. So, I'm going to pop over to the memorial thread from my server. Maybe I'll put the info in chat if people want to follow along or post their own. And I'm going to get logged into Discord, and then I'll switch the screen share so that people can see. There we go. And I will post all these, I would call it stream notes or show notes, also in that thread. Maybe I can throw that picture gallery in here too. Did someone want to chime in with something?
No, my roommate is here and needed to talk to me about a few things, so I just got done with that. So I'm back now officially.
Welcome back officially.
I don't know if you saw my note. What time were we planning on ending today?
We're going to end in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So just quickly, so folks know there is this memorial thread. It's linked in the chat. I put some pictures and memories here, including pictures of the swamps. Because Kari would go on these walks in the Florida swamps and send me these pictures, and I'd be like, "Wow, that's so cool." So that's something that I really loved about her is I would ask, like, "How does it smell like?" Because it's been decades since I've been to Florida, and I'm probably not going to go again. I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I'll play this video that's up here very last. I have this other memory of Kari helping me with like the layout of my lights. I still haven't perfected it because I need one from behind me and it's not happening. But yeah, so I'll read what others have shared. So Kamesy wrote, Kari really enjoyed a good joke, especially if it was wordplay. I remember if you shenan once, best believe you're going to shenan again, was a favorite of hers. She liked to be outside, I think. In our Clouder meetings, they'd switch on cam occasionally to take a walk and look at the flowers or the sky, and she'd talk about the area she was in. By GM's photos, I think it's a good guess. They often joined our meetings while at work, which called for a bit of subterfuge, and she always talked about it with a good dose of charm. I always got the impression she got her work done, but liked to play things loose when they could. Kari had so much passion for life and wanting to be involved. It was just so evident in their presence within the Clouder, and her absence was very noticeable when she needed to step away for health reasons. They will be missed. And I totally resonate with all of that. Miranda shared, I just heard the news. I don't know what to say. I'm crying right now. I wish I had the chance to know her better. And she was also on stream earlier and shared more thoughts. And I pinged Sonia, because I don't know if Sonia had heard, and I got a DM later that she had just heard, or they had just heard because I had reached out and was like, oh man, I'm going to miss the stream because I'm at brunch with people, but I wish I could be there and I want to donate to the thing. So, yeah, that link will still work if people are waiting for, like, I know my family's waiting for payday tomorrow and then we're going to donate as well. But, you know, it just takes some time. Then here's some happy pictures that Kari sent to Lexington. You're seeing some of these kind of flash by in that top corner, probably all of them since Lex is helping us with that. And now Sonia's written a thing. I don't have any words. Rosa told us yesterday. This is the first place I attempted to put down words. Kari and I were both used and abused by another LGBTQ IA2S plus creator. This was how we met. Thankfully, Kari found the transverse and the Clouder to help aid in trans growth and to heal the damage inflicted. True to most every family, we both agreed. Thank you, someone, for the $10, by the way. Those pictures are too far up now. I'm gonna do this. It's the gremlins in the brain. Ooh, okay. No, did I mess a thing up? Hold on. I did fine. Okay. All good. So true to most, this is the rest of Sonia's words. True to most every family, we both agreed and disagreed. Kari was always ready with wisdom, love, and concern. We both understood and at times misunderstood each other. The willingness to learn, help, and share truly set Kari apart from so many in this world. I understand the family wished to use Kari's dead name in memorial. I don't plan on reading that obituary. Kari will always be Kari, in life and now in the afterlife. May the spirit and memory of Kari soar even higher than they ever could imagine. Until we meet again, it's my wish that the life Kari is living now is the best life ever. And then Joe, they, them, wrote, I've been thinking about what to put here to describe my relationship with Kari, but it evolved and became so many things, both within the DM and in the various servers we were both in. We both are regular contributors to the pet channel and the transverse, but in private, we both talked about the struggles we were going through with our families and the hilarity of working in a job where there's a ton of tech problems on a regular basis. Sometimes we even had solutions to each other's problems. I knew she was hating her apartment, trying to rebuild relationships with family, and wanting to get the hell out of Florida. And I was cheering for her the whole time. And now, to read her family had the audacity to use her dead name at the funeral, I'm inconsolable. She was and deserved a lot better than that. And then I put a picture of my face being sad wearing a CPAP because that was me yesterday, and that is why stream is scuffed. I had no spoons. Here's the evidence. 0 spoons. I think
0
Lex for the
spoons,
pictures. 0 spoons, Meowster. 0 spoons and very sad Meowster. And then I said, Emily and Rosie, you can share your memories too. Lexington wrote, I could not cry because I was at work all day. Cried my eyes out the entire way home. Kari was my friend, my sister. She lived radiantly, proudly. And this is exactly how I will always remember her. And I will live like she did, proud and true, and full of love and compassion for others. I love that, Lex. Thank you for taking the time to write that, my friend. I love you, bro. Vespers wrote, I don't yet know how to process this. Kari was always so kind to me. My heart is in disbelief. which I totally feel. Emily, do you want to read what you wrote? And someone else can give you the same chance. Or do you need me to read it?
Let me
Or
let me
you
see if
want
I
me to
can find
start?
it. It was that link.
Yeah, I can link you.
Oh no, not that one.
Sorry, I went on
I'm behind.
autopilot read mode because I'm trying to help us wrap up on time. I should have given the people in voice chat a chance to read their own thing.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. I guess this is it here. What can I possibly say? When I found out yesterday I was able to post about it and pass it on, today seems so much harder. Kari was an angel. She was a goofball and neurospicy as all get out. But she was endlessly kind and always gave her assistance before asking others for help. She made my run of Transverse News possible by taking care of production. We always had so much fun, especially laughing together about my ridiculous bloopers. And I love that she doesn't have a ton of videos on her TikTok, but one of them is the blooper reel that she helped me put together from the various gaffes that I did on that show. In many ways, she played a big part in the success of the Transverse, and I will forever be grateful to her for that. Beyond everything, she was a friend, a true friend, one you could always count on, a friend that could always offer a brighter perspective and cheer you up. The world is dimmer without her light in it. Thank you all for being her friend, for supporting her, and saying such wonderful and kind things about her. I'm really grateful to all of you for like Sonia for being that confidant going through the similar things with Kari, for uh, everybody that was able to touch and enrich her life as a community, as a friend. I again will be forever grateful to you for what you were able to do for her.
We skipped over one of my posts here. If I could, I would like to read it.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I said after learning about the muse. I'm proud and grateful to have had her on my content editors team. Talking to them was such a delight. In one of our meetings, it became a running gag that I said "Indeed," and she responded with .com. Kari was like a Kari was like a sunflower. That's so Kari. Kari was like a sunflower in human form. Our meetings were so ADHD driven that they took forever. Between us sharing stuff about life and gender, questioning intersexuality, the best puns and gags that they just came up with on the spot, and the warmest, kindest, jestful personality. Kari edited and published a lot of our contributor spotlights and curated our Twitch clips before they got hospitalized earlier this year with heart issues. I'm so grateful that I got to know her and laugh with her. I want to say thank you for the starlights, dear Kari Aiden. It's so hard to say goodbye.
It is hard to say goodbye. Miranda thanked Emily for your writing. I posted some pictures. And Pluto, Shar, wrote, I've been trying to sort out my feelings for the last few days. I didn't really know Kari. We only really interacted in staff meetings. But she was always so joyful and her presence was felt. She deserves to be honored with her true name and identity, and I'm so glad we're able to do that for her. And my comments are actually in the announcement about this event, because I didn't have the wherewithal to do more than one thing. I think it was even in Twitch announcements. Let's find out. That's a reminder. Maybe it was community events. Nope. Y'all. Where?
I think it was Discord announcements.
Yeah, thank you. I just found it. So I wrote
Okay.
content warning death of a contributor at Meowsters. I've just heard from Emily of the Transverse that our beloved Kari Shide has passed away. I know she had a heart attack earlier this year and was navigating a lot of health stuff. Kari was a giggly, kind, and beloved member of our community. They loved to hang out in voice chats and tell stories, restoring pinball machines and her belated cat Rusty. Kari would take photo walks in the swamps of Florida and loved macro photos of flowers. You can see a thread of them here, and then I linked to the flower thread. Kari helped the Clouder with modding on Wednesday evenings, editing content, and showing up at meetings with a good joke, even when she was also at her IT day job. She had plans for gender affirming surgery and to sell her house and move out of Florida, and last I heard she hadn't quite managed all of that. I've included the last video she ever sent me in DMs. She's happy and healthy in it and presenting in their true gender. There is also now a thread for folks to post memories and photos, etc. And then the thread that we've just read through. Kari Eden is deeply loved. May her memory be a blessing. Love, Lionheart System. Whew. Holy heck, 52 people have done hug reacts to that. That's amazing. Thank you to all the people that wrote that thing that I wrote, read the thing that I wrote. My goodness. Okay, we have 6 minutes left, my beloved friends. All of these links are going to be in the Kari thread and in the VOD on YouTube for this stream. Here is a TikTok that Emily labeled Kari's goofy sense of humor.
Captain, set razors to stun!
It's so silly. Captain set razors to stun. And Lexington found the Discord link of Kari's silly ears. Let's see. Oh man, get ready. There's the ears. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know why there's no audio. But this was the moment I was telling you all about, the silly ears, and then it stopped working. But like, look how silly. I just need like a gif of the first half of this with the ears working. So cute.
The disappointment on her face.
It's so genuine. It's so genuine. But like, look at the delight here.
It's so candid.
Like, just mischievous. Just like, hee, I have a silly thing on my head.
Just Kari being her most Kari.
It is totally Kari being her most Kari. I love them so much. So much love.
Thank you so much for finding that. Was that Lexington that found that?
Yeah, Lexington did find that for us. And then the final piece of content I have for us, I posted it on my TikTok like in the middle of the night, and there's all these words on it and stuff. There is a version without the words already in Discord with the announcement that I posted, and there's a version with just the captions on my Instagram, but I picked TikTok because all the TikTok people love Kari and have been around. So this is the last video I had in my DMs of Kari. I think they sent it like, I don't know, either November of last year or like January, February of this year. I think I had sent something in the mail, like a thank you card, or you know what I think it was is I sent all the contributors some stickers in the mail for Yule. And so maybe this was January, maybe before her heart attack. And she was super mischievous, totally Winter Nicole, absolutely. And so I sent her just everyone. I sent everyone mail, and Kari made me a video. And so here's the video that she made. It's 19 seconds long, and it's the last piece of content I have for us today.
Thank you, Meowster. I wanted to say thank you because you're such a very special person, and I wanted to give you a little video and say thank you very much for all the things that you do, all the help that you've given to both me and this community, and you're very special. Thank you.
That is so sweet, and it makes me cry every time.
I'm so glad that you have that. That's so beautiful.
Emily, she really believes in both of our communities and what we're doing.
Clearly, because she contributed so much to them both.
Yeah.
And it's everyone else's belief in our causes, Emily, that keeps me going. Like, that's why I get up in the morning. Because people fucking believe in us. And I want to continue to rise to the occasion of being the incredible people that my friends think I am and see me as.
I'm so proud of you for how much you have been able to do. I've had we had some problems in the transverse, and I haven't been able to rise fully to the occasion again yet. I keep trying, but I haven't quite got there. I'm still trying to follow the advice of Pirate's video, just doing the best that I can, even if it's not what I know to be my full best. So I'm really proud of you for what you're still doing.
It's not just me, it's all of us. It's the whole crew. Like every gender fed event, Emily, to my recollection, you've done something for every single one of them. You're usually doing some kind of graphic thing or stream or both or whatever. And like, you know, both of our communities have been so collaborative. Like I was so grateful to meet you and your community in um the trans server that we both have our announcement channels in. Like I was just it was so delightful to finally, because I'd seen your post for like a year, but I hadn't made the time to stop by, and then I finally did, and I was like, oh my god, we're doing the same thing. We're on different HRTs, but we're doing the same fucking podcast.
So parallel, such parallel universes, and they
Yeah.
finally collided this week. I love it.
Yeah,
Like it,
it's been really beautiful.
they've been interacting for a long time, but like in person for the first time. I love it.
So, that's what we have today, y'all. A lot of love for Kari. A lot of love for all of us here. I want to take a moment and thank each and every one of you. And maybe I'll give a final moment for the rest of you to say any closing thoughts while I go look for a raid, because I forgot to ask the mods to help me with that. So I'll do it now. But you all can say your closing thoughts.
Just want to say thank you so much for providing this stream as a space to commemorate a friend together, to grieve together, but also to recall all of the beautiful memories that we have with Kari. It's very special. Thank you.
Thanks, Lex. Barrett says, I encourage people to be willing to do things that aren't perfect if it helps you be more well and happy doing those things. Thank you, Sonia, for the $100. Oh my god. Thank you, Sonia.
Sonia,
So
thank
much.
you.
I don't even know if you can hear me right now. I know I DM'd you that link and maybe you're not even in stream, but you're just crying more.
Thank you, Kimsey. Getting some love in chat, so thank you.
I love you all so much. We're all so lucky to have each other.
It's been a really beautiful stream, and honored to have been able to be a part of it. And there's so many incredible people in the community, and I hope to get to know all of them as much as I get the privilege and honor to be able to do so. Sending everyone love.
I think I want to say, take this as a moment to remember how strong we are as a community and how important it is to be a community. I know there can be a lot of infighting sometimes. There's a lot of different personalities, a lot of different neurospiciness that we're dealing with. Try and make sure to give the people you interact with the benefit of the doubt, and kind of be a little bit more like Kari, and come at everything with compassion and patience. It's important that we stick together through all of these things.
Yeah, it is. So for our raid, I think I want to take us to go see a friend who's live right now, and I haven't seen them live in a long time. I want to go see Hey Calamity, who has had 3 different Twitch names, all using the word Calamity. Calamity uses she, they pronouns and is a Black content creator, narrative designer, video, tabletop game, and actual play TTRPG performer and producer. Calamity is doing lo-fi sessions, Spirit City lo-fi sessions right now, and do some Pomodoro, which is pretty chill. And I can't remember if Calamity knows Kari, but I don't have a lot of super close friends live in this moment. I mean, if Emily were live, I'd raid into Emily, but as you all have picked up on, we don't have the capacity for any of us that are actively grieving to stream right now. It took like 8 of us to do this one stream. 6, I don't know.
And it took each of us literally everything we have to put it together.
Yeah. And I had to go lay down in the middle of it because I needed to. And Emily was like, is Jack coming back? I don't know. So, God, I love you all so
I think
much.
Kari would
Okay.
have loved this.
I think so too. So as we are, I do want to say hi to Calamity. I hear you, KMZ, and I think it'll be okay. As we're preparing to wrap up for the day, I want to let y'all know that a combination of the 3 mutual aid events in August that I participated in, and a lot of Clouder members did, because our friends were doing important things. We were like, well, shoot, like, we just did an important thing, and now there's another one. Like, we're gonna just keep it. Like, everyone is tired in a way that we haven't been, in my recollection. Like, all of us. I'm gonna move these captions. All of us are tired in a way I haven't seen us be, maybe ever. Like, 1 or 2 of us being as burnt out and exhausted as I'm feeling right now happens every month or 3, but I feel like all of senior leadership is really exhausted concurrently right now, and like, we haven't even finished onboarding our new people that joined a month ago, and so they're like, hey, I want to help, I don't know how, twiddling their thumbs, kicking their legs off the truck bed. Like, you know, we were trying to do this stream, and poor Pirate didn't even have the role to get into this voice channel because we hadn't given Pirate basic permissions yet. And it's just, yeah, that's not a criticism. I'm just sharing how truly exhausted we are collectively. We've been going really hard, and so in order to make sure that everyone else has the spoons to keep everything going, well, I'm gone for surgery the second half of October through the first half of November, because I'm going to be gone for like 4 weeks, y'all. Like, not on stream at all. It's going to be, we still need to plan all those takeovers and all that. So in order to make sure that people get enough of a break before they are covering extra while I'm gone, we're going to collectively take at least 1, if not more than 1 week off. But all of the streams next week are canceled, so no Tarot this week. Sunberry and I aren't doing shenanigans. Genderful's been on hiatus for a little while, because we have needed to get some of our team members either trained up or replaced for that, and it was just too many things. And so we said, you know what? We need to value our disabled spoons and put a pause on the show. We still have like 100 guest ideas. We haven't run out of ideas. We just need people power. And so we're taking some time to collect ourselves, and, you know, we've made 123 episodes. 1, 2, 3 is a pretty nice number. Yeah. Season 1, 123 episodes.
Season 1?
Yeah, season 1, 123 episodes. I can also add that if anyone's feeling like very deep in the Meowster lore, you can go check out Spiral Web Pod, which is a Twitch channel that will probably almost never stream, but I didn't want anyone else to get the handle. But go find the YouTube channel for Spiral Web Pod. I don't even think I have a command for it, because that is a second podcast I'm making, because I apparently decided to make 1 new project a year. So now I've cut Gender Meowster, Genderful Podcast, Gender Federation, and Spiral Web Pod. Yes, I keep adopting kittens, y'all. So that is a witchy podcast documenting the history of the reclaiming tradition of witchcraft. I actually use my wallet name in that, well, my first name wallet name in that show. Thank you for that, Pirate. That's very helpful. Wonder if there is an SWP command. Nope, that's just an idea that I had and doesn't exist. That's fine. So yeah, if anyone wants to check that out, eventually we'll be releasing that stuff, and we got to get the Patreon for that together still and whatever. But we're hoping to interview the elders in the tradition before they die, because the religion itself is about 50 to 60 years old. So some of the founders are still alive, but they've got dementia, and like people have written books, but there's no audiobooks, and there's no like, you know, podcasts about it. And I was like, well, damn, like this is an oral, like paganism is largely an oral tradition. Like all of our rites are private and secret. We don't make videos of it. And so like, how are we going to know our songs? And there have been people that have recorded the songs, but I want to catch the story, the oral history that isn't written down, because people also keep publishing without audiobooks, and that's not accessible to me because I have a certain neurospicy flavor that does not do the book reading. So long story longer, that is another project of mine you can enjoy even while I'm unavailable. So yes, so I am going to be not around much through the rest of the year until probably December, and then we're taking a 3-week break at the end of December, the beginning of January as a whole collective because it's the holidays. So just so people know, there's a lot of time off coming up for a bunch of really good reasons, and most importantly of all of that to remember is the mutual aid event got moved from October to December. So, you know, it's still Mick and C mutual aid, but it is sort of a, you know, trans holiday special. Again, people are like, no, a thing in December. And I'm like, I won't be ready in November. Also, T-Doors in November. I haven't even announced it properly, Pirate. Nobody knew that. This is me telling everyone. Sorry for the people that are like, oh, it was in my calendar different. Yep, I'm sorry. I didn't. You saw my sad face yesterday. I was that yesterday. So I'm going to spend the next 50 minutes working on those kind of announcements and wrapping up work, and then I'm going to be off for 1 to 3 weeks personally, and there may or may not be Clouder takeovers while I'm gone. There's some people planning on it, but I haven't trained them properly, so we'll see what happens. Big thank you to Kamesy and Scott and other folks that are sort of carrying the torch while I'm away and unavailable and don't have the wherewithal to do the things. I am so grateful for this team, and the reason that this community works is because we are a collective. It's not all hinging on me. Also, thank you to my stunning, beautiful, wonderful wife for everything, but especially in this moment, all the tech help that she's constantly doing to help us make it so that other people can do stuff. It's nice to have executive powers, says Kamesy. And I don't think Kamianya's here right now, but I also just want to say thank you to Kamianya for all the gender fed work that they've been up to the last, you know, several months. Kami has really been carrying a lot of the weight of that work. Because the mutual last one was for me, and I was like, I can't lead the thing and be the recipient at the same time. I'll fall apart. So just in general, there's a lot of people cross-trained, and we're all disabled and trans and whatever. Like, for the most part, we're one or both of those things, and it's nice. Calling the vacay gave me a power rush. Yeah, I mean, Kamesy, you were right. That's why this is why I put you in charge of HR years ago. I was like, you are thinking about the right things. I need someone with thoughts like that to be in charge of telling me when it's time to take a break, because I get hyper-focused and I don't take breaks. Speaking of that, we're going to raid now. Let me just triple check that Calamity is still alive, and then we will do that. I need to stick this somewhere, so let's go in there. Okay. Gotta send that to Wolves randomly. Enjoy that random link, Wolves. So I need to go get Calamity's handle again. Calamity is indeed still alive. Yes.
This was a wonderful thing that you did today. You put together a wonderful event. Thank you for all of your work, but thank you specifically for this today.
Welcome, my friend. It took you, me, and Rosa in DMs for days, and also everyone that showed up today, and we're planning to be here already anyways, and the people that I roped in the middle of the night, or yesterday, or this morning, or whatever. And I'm grateful we had the T-Door scenes already set up, that I could just sort of convert some stuff to make it work for us. Thank you, Clarity, Emily, Lexington, Picaro, Wolves, and Miranda, who's not here in this moment, and Rosa, and Emily some more, and me, and also Stom, who did the graphics, and other people too. We love Kari. Kari is her name, and we love them.
Her name is Kari.
Yeah. There's more Kari content. Go check out Kari's TikTok. Go check out that interview that Emily's going to be publishing. It's lovely. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.